Even if you take 1,200 mg of calcium and vitamin D every day to strengthen your bones, they can still become brittle and weak, especially as you age. Osteoporosis experts tell you that the most important thing for bone health is getting enough calcium and vitamin D. But that's not the whole truth. The most important thing you need for strong bones is not just calcium, but its proper traffic cop. And here is the shocking thing most seniors don't know. Even if you take calcium, without this director, it doesn't know where to go. It may not end up in your bones, instead depositing in your arteries and soft tissues, causing them to harden. Most seniors also make the mistake of relying on low-fat dairy, thinking it's the best source of calcium without getting the key component needed for its absorption. That is why in this video I will tell you about 2 sources of a forgotten nutrient that literally forces calcium to build itself into your bones. I'll start with the more accessible source. Then I'll reveal the absolute best one, which most people overlook. I will also tell you about 3 foods you should never combine with calcium if you want to defeat osteoporosis after 60. Subscribe right away if you haven't already. Let's begin. Number 1. Fermented cheeses, Gouda, Brie. A serving of these cheeses contains an impressive amount of vitamin K2 in its most potent form, MK7. This is significantly more than in regular cheeses or milk. This form of vitamin K2 is absorbed much more efficiently and stays in the body longer, making it incredibly effective for people fighting bone loss. Vitamin K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which lies dormant in your bones. K2 is the key that switches it on, after which osteocalcin acts like glue, binding calcium directly to your bone tissue. But here's what most seniors don't know. These cheeses also contain healthy fats that act as a transport system for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2. Without these fats, the vitamins simply pass through your system. A recent 10-year study from the Netherlands followed 4,800 older adults. The results were so astounding that researchers called it the cheese paradox. Those who regularly consumed fermented cheeses rich in K2 had a 50% lower risk of hip fractures and cardiovascular disease. Traditional European diets have included such cheeses for centuries, providing people with strong bones long before modern science explained why it works. Incorporating these cheeses into your diet is simple. Eat a slice of Gouda with an apple for a snack. The apple's fiber will aid digestion. Add Brie to whole grain toast with avocado for breakfast. The healthy fats in the avocado will enhance K2 absorption. These combinations create delicious daily meals that supercharge your bones. However, if you only eat cheese, you may still not get the maximum benefit if you don't add the next source of vitamin K2, which works in perfect synergy with cheese for maximum bone strengthening. Number 2. Natto, fermented soybeans. Natto contains a colossal amount of vitamin K2, over 1,000 mcg per 100 grams. That's tens of times more than in any other product. This K2 in the MK7 form not only directs calcium into the bones, but also activates another protein, MGP, that acts as a guardian for your blood vessels. It finds calcium that has deposited on artery walls and removes it, preventing their calcification. For seniors, this means not only stronger bones, but also healthier blood vessels and a healthier heart. What's shocking is that natto also contains an enzyme called nattokinase, which studies show supports healthy circulation and dissolves microclots. A groundbreaking study from Tokyo tracked thousands of postmenopausal women. Those who regularly consumed natto had significantly higher bone mineral density and a substantially lower risk of fractures. Japanese folk medicine has considered natto a food for longevity and vitality for centuries. To start eating natto, considering its specific taste, begin with 1 teaspoon mixed with mustard or soy sauce to mask the flavor. Here's the secret. When you combine vitamin K2 from cheese and natto with the right forms of vitamin D3 and magnesium, you create a powerful bone-building trio. Vitamin D3 is the transporter that gets calcium from your gut into your blood. Magnesium is the regulator that helps activate both D3 and K2, and vitamin K2 is the traffic cop that tells calcium where to go. Without all three components, the system breaks down. However, consuming these K2-rich foods will be useless for your bones if you combine them with the next three foods. The last one is very common. I am sure you've eaten it this week. In fact, they can actively leach calcium from your body. After analyzing dozens of studies and consulting with leading endocrinologists, I have identified the three most dangerous food combinations that older adults must avoid. Number 1, which you should never combine with your calcium-rich diet, is wheat bran. Bran seems like a very healthy food that seniors add to cereals and yogurts. But this healthy fiber is secretly stealing your minerals. Wheat bran contains a high amount of phytic acid. This anti-nutrient acts like a magnet for minerals. It binds to calcium, magnesium, and zinc in your gut, creating insoluble compounds and blocking their absorption. A 2017 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adding just 2 tablespoons of bran to a meal can reduce calcium absorption from that meal by 60%. But here's the shocking part. Phytic acid doesn't just block calcium from the current meal. It can pull out minerals that are already in your body. You are, in essence, making your calcium-rich cheese useless while simultaneously depleting your own reserves. I'll never forget treating Helen, a 78-year-old patient who came to me frustrated because her bone density scores were worsening despite taking calcium and eating healthy bran breakfasts. Within 3 months of replacing the bran with overnight soaked oatmeal, her numbers stabilized. If you are serious about your bone health, avoid unprocessed bran or soak it. The second food is raw spinach in large quantities. Many consider spinach a superfood rich in calcium and add it to salads and smoothies. But when you combine raw spinach with other calcium sources, you create a problem. Spinach contains oxalates, compounds that bind tightly to calcium, making it unavailable to your body. One study showed that only about 5% of the calcium from raw spinach is absorbed. Here's the hidden danger. It's a double betrayal. Not only do you not get the calcium from the spinach, but the oxalates can also bind to the calcium from other foods you eat with it, like the cheese in your salad, completely neutralizing the benefit of the meal. I treated David, a 72-year-old man who drank a large raw spinach smoothie every day. Despite this, his tests showed a calcium deficiency. Lightly cooking spinach, steaming or blanching, breaks down the oxalates. After he started to lightly cook his spinach, his calcium levels returned to normal. If you think that's shocking, wait for the last one. The final food that destroys your bones is dark soda, cola. Many people drink Diet Cola, thinking it's harmless. But this habit can be catastrophic for your bones. Cola contains phosphoric acid. When you consume it in large quantities, it disrupts the calcium-phosphorus balance in the body. Your body, in a state of panic to restore balance, resorts to a desperate act. It raids your bones, pulling calcium from your skeleton to neutralize the acid in your blood. The Framingham Osteoporosis Study, a landmark multi-year study, found a direct link between cola consumption and lower bone mineral density in women. You are literally dissolving your own bones with every sip. I remember treating Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who drank 1 glass of Diet Cola every day as a little treat. Her bone density was plummeting despite supplements. 6 months after giving up cola, her numbers stopped worsening for the first time in years. Now that you know about the 3 dangerous foods, I have a question for you. Which of these bone-destroying combinations have you been unknowingly consuming? Write in the comments. If you are serious about restoring your bone strength, I've created a 7-day bone-building meal plan. You'll find the link in the description. But there's something even more exciting. Tomorrow, I will reveal a secret about a common spice in your kitchen that has been clinically proven to reduce bone breakdown by 27%. I can only share this information with my subscribers first. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Believe me, this secret will shock you. See you soon.